Let's go.
Coming up in this episode, we hit up Harvey Bay, Fraser Coast, and there's some great action.
Welcome to my fishing place, the place to be.
Certainly was the place to be. We've just come back from 2 days, heading up Fraser off the coast there, having an absolute blast.
There's a song that goes off in my head and it goes like this. I've had the time of my life, and those last 2 days absolutely blew me away. Loved it.
We hooked up with Peter Ford, and we're gonna nickname him Pete the Delivery Man because he delivered on the goods. We needed to get onto some fish, took us up there in his boat, and man, we just had a crack a couple of days.
But how good was it? Out there, looking over at Fraser Island, even without catching fish, which we caught plenty of, but looking out at that beautiful Fraser Island, coming in on the boat, it was beautiful scenery, beautiful time out there.
Well, we hit the water about 2 p.m, I think,
Yes.
on the Wednesday, and the wind was supposed to drop down. I was sort of thinking, is it going to drop down? Because it was a little windy. However, you know, I think the first thing we did, we saw a school of Max, cast in, boom, on straight away.
Woo! Big Red! Woo! He's on, man!
That was a great hookup.
It was a good omen, wasn't it? Like you're out there and all of a sudden, first cast, I think it was my first cast on the first boil, boom, on, just.
Oh, get that reel. Yeah. That's a big one.
Still got a little cut there from the braid where I touched, you know, just gold.
Why were you touching your braid?
I believe I was fumbling around in incredible pain because I didn't think I was actually going to catch the fish, so that would have been it.
But we thought we were catching back tuna, but that boil was actually spotty mackerel. How good was it to get a fish in the boat? We actually know we're going to keep and eat spotty mackerel. Lovely fish to eat.
Woo! Yeah, baby! Here we go, here we go. Spotted Mackie. You want him? Very nice. Woo! Yeah! Yeah!
It was just, like I say, a good beginning, and you know, we just think, okay, even though it's a bit windy, bit of swell, we're going to get onto it.
The thing is with spotty mackerel is they got sharp teeth, they're a mackerel, so you can get bit off easy. And when you see them busting up like crazy, one of the things that a lot of people do wrong is they throw right in the middle of that school. Now, those mackerel are swimming through a bait ball with their mouths open, just going chomp, 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 chomp. Right, so you throw your line through, you're hooked up and they're just swimming through like that. So, all over, bitten off straight away. Often, if you get a really big school of spotty mackerel or a school, as you actually cast to the edges. It sounds weird, you think you want to cast right through the middle, but if you actually want to land some fish and keep some of your lures, you can actually cast to the edge, the fish will come out, hit the lure, and the fish won't be swimming through, won't cut off your line. That's the big difference between chasing mackerel and you know, mac tunas.
After the break, Big Red takes on the pelagics.
Let's go.
Now, you always hear the stories, don't you? You hear about the guys who know where the fish are, they promise a big fish, yeah, we'll go here, we'll go there, we'll do this, and they make a good plan. Sometimes it doesn't pay off, but in this instance, it paid off beautifully. I believe Big Red caught a massive Spanish mackerel. See it? Close,
Close to that size.
Close.
Let's have a look at the picture and we'll just compare that picture with that picture and see if it's close. Real fisherman will go, what are they talking about? It's like a bait Spaniard. No, it was a good Spaniard, but that thing there,
Wow,
that's...
encouragement.
No, I'm saying like a good Spaniard is like you hold it up and it's still on the ground. That's a good Spaniard.
Okay.
So what you got was bait for a real Spaniard.
No, well, I'm not saying that, but I'm
Maybe
just
we
saying
should
don't
like
talk it up.
hook the tail and
It's
troll
like
it for a
calling
real
Ethan's
fish.
bass the biggest bass you've ever seen. Like, just don't say talk like say you got a good Spaniard, but don't say like the biggest Spaniard you've
No,
ever
it's a
seen.
bit of an average Spaniard, to be honest with you.
I thought I was an awesome fisherman.
Mackerel. Spanish? Woo. Good job, just then.
Okay, maybe not as big, but you know, I think
Still, probably your first Spaniard.
yes, first Spaniard.
So first of a species, always good. So anyway, after catching a couple of surface pelagics, those couple of mackies and the spotties, Pete took us to a little spot where we anchored up. Just before we did anchor up, how were those sharks chasing that mac tuna?
Yeah,
The bronzy! It was sick!
But wasn't that a triple hookup? I'm sure. I had a Mac, you had a Mac, you
I had a Mac.
Did you get Did you get bitten off or
Oh,
not?
I got bitten off. I got mine just in the surface, and then the bronze come up, and he's just gone.
Oh, listen to that scream! I love the sound of that! Wow! I need a bit more drag on mine. Sick, I just love fishing. Oh, wasted me! Sick! Oh, nice job! No, I reckon he bit as well. Ah, sharks! Kill them all, that's what I say.
Never gets old hearing a drag just go.
It's
It's one of the greatest sounds on the planet.
You know
is
it's a mac
screaming
tuna.
drag.
You know you're gonna throw it back,
Who cares?
but
It's
how
just
good is it?
fun.
How good is it?
It's
Mate,
legit
just-
fun.
Okay.
I threw that thing for goodness sake, and it got engulfed. Like as in, like the lure
Look at
disappeared.
your hook.
How much fun is it? You're in the boat and just cruise along, you know, birds working, off you go. It's the chase.
When you're talking about chasing them, we literally were chasing them. You look for birds. You look for birds. You're just basically driving around looking for where are the birds working. That's how you find these things. And then when you're looking at the birds, you can tell how far the tuna are from the surface by how high the birds are in the air. And what you're waiting for is the fish to come right to the surface, then you'll see the birds starting to dive. That means they're feeding. That means get your lure in there. Sometimes they're a bit flighty. You bring the boat too close and they just go straight down again. So you just got to kind of watch, and you really are hunting them, aren't you? You're chasing them around the bay or wherever.
And I hate to harp on about something, but we talked before in one of our other episodes about how important it is to get the right gear. Now, if you have the right gear, the right reel with the right line, you know, lighter line, braid on a decent reel, you can cast a lot further. So it means being able to pull up a little bit shorter than everyone else, being able to cast, reach those fish, so that when you're not having to drive right up to the school. And it can make a big difference if you can cast an extra 20 meters to what everyone else can, because you can just pull up that little bit shorter, the fish won't sound, and you can get onto them. A lot of people don't realise that those tuna, they can go exceptionally fast. You cannot wind a slug fast enough for a mac tuna, right? As fast as you can wind, they can swim a lot faster. A lot of people make the mistake of, spinning like that. It's cast, it's wait 10 seconds for that lure to drop, and then as fast as you can get that lure back, they will hit it.
Yeah.
Don't be
amazing.
scared to wind fast.
Yeah.
After the break, it's Keza versus the shark.
Let's go.
You just don't know what you're going to get when you drop down on a reef, and that's one of the great things that I loved about Harvey Bay. Put down, you might get a nanagai, coral trout, red emperor, tuna, mackerel. It could be one of heaps of fish, and it's just like, what's going to take my line? It's part of the thrill.
It's like a box of chocolates. You just don't know what you're gonna get.
Thanks, Forrest.
Oh, you got him on the belly.
So there we are, fishing away, you know, it's fairly dark, and all of a sudden you just see this, I see this big shape coming up. And you're like, what is this thing? And there's beautiful turtles. There was about 5 of them.
Yeah, just cruising around the boat.
Cruising around, they're just such a beautiful creature. We saw them, then the sea snake popped up. There is just an extra element of mystery with night fishing on the reef. It's just a little bit more mystery because you're not seeing the fish till a lot later in the water column.
And you're thinking about sleep.
You are. You're often, is this going to be the last one? But it's great. You know, and same with night fishing anywhere. You know, day fishing is great, but night fishing, just that little element of mystery.
It's like you're waiting a little bit longer, but when they hit at night, it's like, whoa, there it is. You know, like,
no, it's hunting time. No, it's hunting time. So all the little Nemos, they're back in the anemones. And the morays are back in their caves because the big boys, wow, are coming through. But anyway, so we've got hooked on something massive, and I'm like, that's it, I'm done, right? But
Quick, no,
you gotta hear me out. And in that time, right, that I just cut that off, I caught 3 other decent fish. Yet my compadre here, he tangled with that massive shovel-nosed shark for like half an hour when he could have been getting a much better quality fish. So in my book, I'm just saying.
Did you catch another 3 of the 50 Trevors we caught?
You caught another 3 little Trevors, did you?
No, I caught a snapper.
Oh.
I caught a biter and I caught a chomper.
A biter and a chomper.
I stand corrected then. I stand corrected.
Great species identification by Big
Why
Red.
would you waste that time and energy when you could be pulling up?
I conquered when you quit.
Conquered nothing.
When Pete cut, I kept going and I smoked that shark, man. You should see it. It's a 10-foot big shovel-nosed shark, and I smoked it. I got it up.
I think the general public need to vote on this. To our viewers, we want you to log on to our Facebook page. Have we got a photo of that thing?
Whichever photo.
Oh, mate, it's a monster.
We want to hear if you think spending half an hour pulling up a useless fish is better than pulling up 3 great quality fish.
I reckon we should compare what Lee calls great quality fish, because from memory, I don't think they were that crash.
Well, you wouldn't have seen them because you're wasting time.
I was dominating a shark.
You
I
dominate
was
nothing.
smashing a
You
shark.
dominate squat.
I just flipping owned the shark, and I win. Keza wins,
Wait, this
Big
is
Red
amazing.
quits.
It was a big shark.
Oh,
Big shark. But it's a waste of
massive.
time.
It was so
It's like
big.
repairing rust on a HQ Holden. It's always going to come back.
Oh, just because you couldn't
It's
conquer.
like fixing oil leaks on a Land Rover, though. Always got to come back.
We're not getting Land Rover as a sponsor, apparently.
After the break, it's a mixed bag off the Fraser Coast.
Let's go.
That next morning, when we got up, it was odd. There was mangrove jack. Little slaty brim. Nanagai.
What
There
were
was
those ones that I was getting? I got a couple of those decent ones.
Well, slaty brim or
Yeah.
you know, painted sweet lip, you know, is the official name for them. But yeah, they are. And I mean, on the reef, they're probably not one of the high species that people
They're
want
not
to
a great
catch.
eating fish.
But you talk to fly fishermen, and they want to catch them. I mean,
But it was an odd bite. It was really strange because you just drop your line down, oh, nothing's there, and it's like you just feel a weight. And so it was just a weird bite on the things. But
And I don't want to be politically incorrect, but they are referred to as the mother-in-law fish. So that's a dead weight on the end of the line.
oh, wow! To all the mother-in-laws out there, we love you.
It's worth checking out the Fraser Coast.
But it's just, you know, it is an amazing environment.
It was pretty awesome, and then we pulled up at the beach, just wandering along, decided to have a few casts, flicking some lures, caught a little dart, caught a little long tom. We saw a massive big trevally just cruising, but we just couldn't quite get the lure in front of it quick enough. That would have been fun.
And a shovel-nose shark.
Yeah.
All within probably 15 minutes of standing on what looked like a deserted beach on the edge of Fraser Island.
But Fraser, like, it's the largest sand island in the world, and it's just magic. It was just isolated. There was this freshwater creek running out. I was casting plastics, getting belted, and it's just an amazing place. And not a lot of people have been there. You know, it's on a lot of people's bucket list. You know, backpackers. There's people from overseas who want to go there. Yet it's 2 hours away, and you hardly ever get there.
And that's exactly right. You're talking about a place that's only within a few hours' drive of the capital city of Australia.
Yeah.
You know, it's amazing that there is such pristine and beautiful places still around.
And so look, Fraser Island, it's really a spectacular place. If you haven't been there, make the effort to go and do it. Great for families, great for fishing, awesome place. Now, during a couple of weeks ago, I actually was on the Old Faithful of Gumtree, and I found a bloke who wanted to swap 70 lures plus some other items, and he wanted either a set of EA Falcon mags or he wanted a drum kit. And in my shed here, I actually had 2 old guitars, so I rang up old mate and said, will you take 2 guitars for the lures? And he said, hell yeah. So I made my way up to your Monday and got up there, and that's most of these lures here. And he gave me one other thing, and I'll show you what it was.
Oh,
The Contender.
oh, this thing's famous now.
The Contender. The Paflugermeister Contender. And anyway, so I thought, I knew we'd go down to the boat. And so I said to the boys, look, I've got the Contender. And the Contender contended quite competently.
I was waiting for it to bust up.
I thought any minute he's going to drop a big fish because this 10-year-old line that's been
I
stored
did
on the
think
rail is going to go bing.
You know, I say, you never use anybody else's gun. I thought, I wonder when this cat last shot its line. And there's some footage there somewhere. I think I was on a shark or something, and this reel is just barely travelling. So I'm sort of going this where the line smacked me in the face, but it performed really well. I was quite impressed with it, so I was quite happy with that. And I guess leading on to the gear we're using, like we were saying, the Stratix before. And so what were you guys using for your bottom bouncing?
I had my Saltus there, Diamond Saltus. It performs pretty good. I've used that for a few years now. Just a good solid reel.
I used a Finor. That's a good solid reel. It really is about matching the need of the equipment to the job at hand.
Yeah, a big one like one.
And the worst description of a rod ever is general purpose. Yeah, that's rubbish. If you see general purpose, just right away. you know, with 2 or 3 outfits of not, you know, watching your budget, but looking at what you're trying to target is so much better than just walking in and just, you know, buying a general purpose rod. Actually having a look at what you're thinking about targeting and the style of fishing you're doing, it makes a massive difference to your catch rate.
Yeah, baby.
Want to put out a huge thank you to a good mate, Peter Ford. He delivered. Delivery man Pete put us on a good fish, and he's just a top bloke and gave us a great couple of days. Thanks heaps, Peter. You're a legend, mate. Join us next episode for action up on Bligh Reef.
Let's go.